When I was a kid, I used to love superhero comics, but I used to hate superhero teams. They just didn't seem realistic. I mean, one guy who can fly and shoot lasers out of his eyes, sure, but a whole team of them, that's just implausible. But recently, I've come to realise that there is a team of superheroes that walk amongst us. I mean, they don't walk amongst us, nobody walks amongst anybody anymore at the moment, but you take my point. Anyway, they are all around us, and that team of superheroes is the NHS. Whilst for most of us, lockdown has been about finally experimenting with fake tan, or learning how to add a voiceover to a video montage, across the country, brave NHS workers have been battling the deadly coronavirus, fighting it out so that we can sleep soundly in our beds at night. They are the real heroes. That's right, guys. The NHS workers are heroes, and that is why every Thursday I go out and I clap to show my support for the NHS. Or sometimes I'll get like a wooden spoon and a pot and just bang those together. It's just more fun. But the point is, we should all go out every Thursday and clap for the NHS. Because we can all rest easy knowing that there are real-life NHS superheroes looking out for us.
Hang on. That's a lovely sentiment and all, but I don't think it's all that helpful to mythologise NHS workers like that. Superman is literally an alien with powers that make him basically magic. Batman and Iron Man are playboy millionaires with state-of-the-art weapons and armour. NHS workers are just normal, vulnerable people in a near-impossible situation.
What? Shut up! You can't say that on my video. I can't believe you're saying NHS workers aren't heroes.
You're putting words in my mouth. NHS workers have been heroic, but their heroism is in their resilience and bravery. They're literally risking their lives. Did you know that more NHS workers and carers have died this year with coronavirus than UK soldiers died in 8 years of the Iraq War?
That can't be.
It is right. I fact-checked it. Well, you fact-checked it to write the script for this.
You're right, I did. It was pretty grim reading, to be honest with you.
And anyone watching this can fact-check it for themselves too. Now, it is lovely that people are clapping for the NHS every week, it really is, but it can't end there. Not when frontline workers are still overworked, drastically short of PPE, and woefully underpaid. In real terms, all nurses have taken a pay cut against inflation over the last decade.
But what can we do about it? Oh, what if we did a second weekly clap? Or we could all wear Christmas jumpers, or set up some fireworks.
Again, that's very sweet. But what we really need to be doing is holding the government to account. Demand better pay for NHS workers, force them to raise their game when it comes to supplying PPE, and tell them that they still need to protect the NHS, not just during this pandemic, but in the future as well. And we can remind them that if they don't, next time we can always vote for someone who will.
Right, yes. And we can do fundraisers, like we could do a nude calendar. I could use a ventilator to cover my bits.
All right, well, firstly, the NHS isn't a charity. It gets paid for with national insurance that we all pay into through our wages. The government should have been funding it properly all along. Secondly, stop always suggesting nude calendars for everything. They don't make good gifts. My gran hated the last one, and it just makes Christmas dinner really awkward.
Right. Still, at least the NHS workers get to do their bit. Not like the poor teachers who are stuck at home because the bloody unions won't let them reopen the schools.
Oh my God, where to start? Right, well, teachers have still been working. They've been going into schools looking after vulnerable kids. They've been rewriting and reworking all of their lesson plans so that parents can homeschool. They've been doing what they can, and happily. What they don't want is to reopen schools too soon before it's safe. Not just because it risks them, but for the kids and their families as well.
No, you see, it's not the teachers stopping it, it's the unions.
And who do you think runs the unions? Teaching unions are run by teachers, and they look after the teachers' best interests. Right now, it's not in their best interest to be used as babysitters or cannon fodder.
But how do teachers know what's safe anyway? Why can't they just trust the government? I suppose all these teachers are medical experts all of a sudden.
Well, no, but they are backed up by the British Medical Association, who are, medical experts.
But it's not all about the teachers. Tory ministers say we owe it to children to open schools.
That'll be ministers from the same Tory government whose austerity measures left 80% of schools with less money per pupil in 2020 than 5 years ago. But yeah, we owe it to the children. Right.
Look, that all sounds reasonable, but I'm getting my information from a proper source. It's not from Facebook or TikTok. This was in the Daily Mail and the Telegraph.
Yeah, and look at where politicians and rich newspaper owners send their kids to school. Are they getting their uniforms ironed to send them down to the local comp? No. They're waiting for private schools to reopen in September, and that includes every member of the current cabinet. They're willing to take risks with your kids that they're not willing to take with their own.
So, given how unfair and unreasonable these articles are, I mean, it's a shame that the Mail and the Telegraph are running them.
Oh yeah, it's really shitty.
So, why do you think they're doing it?
Pack of cunts.
Pack of cunts.
We can remind them that next time we can vote for someone who will.
Right, yes. And we can do fundraisers. Fuck's sake.